Hi, Awana friends. It's Abby and Megan today. We're back to talk about another people group that this group actually has had the Bible translated into their heart language, and we're going to talk about why that's important some more, like we've been talking about each time we've been on here. And that group is going to be the Arab people from Papua New Guinea. Arab. And Abby is going to show you guys. Can you show where Papua New Guinea is on the map? Let's hold it up. So right there above Australia, let me zoom it in. Right above Australia over here. That's where Papua New Guinea is. Now, this group of people, they have their own language, and they lived in some islands off the coast of Papua New Guinea, leading up to what they're calling the big wave. So these people had a specific culture and a way of life that they were very accustomed to. And what do you think a big wave probably was that came and changed their lives? Do you know what it is? We haven't talked a whole lot about it. It's a tsunami. Can you say that word?
Tsunami.
A tsunami. So that's what the big wave was that came, and it just destroyed this island area off the coast, and it took out their trees. It took out they live off of the coconuts in the trees there. It took out a lot of their any structures they had built. Everything was gone, and this was a long time ago. So they didn't have the Bible in their language. They didn't know Jesus, and they did have some missionaries though that had recently just come to this area to help the Iraq people by sharing Jesus with them, and they wanted to learn their language and create an alphabet and be able to do Bible translation, and that's part of that process. So we have to send missionaries to some of these areas that don't have Bible translation so that they can learn their language and create an alphabet. Because, when we go to kindergarten, we learn what, Abby?
Our ABCs.
And they don't have a set of ABCs or a way to write their language. Sorry, I'm adjusting my camera a lot today. So this is Bonnie and John. This is a missionary couple from our book we've been reading about, that they had traveled to Papua New Guinea and had already started to work on this translation, and this giant wave comes and they just completely changes their way of life. Well, they already had these missionaries that were there helping them, and they were then able to teach these people as they had to move mainland, because they did have some gardens and things on the mainland. So they had to go to their land that was not on these islands. And so you can see in this picture, these islands were very skinny, really small islands here. They had to leave them, moved to the mainland, and they had this missionary couple along with some other missionaries that were able to help them to know Jesus. Not only were they able to help them in a physical way by helping them with planting things and moving and building structures, which is all really important too, but they were able to do the most important thing, which was help with getting an alphabet and a written language for them, teaching them about how to read and write in their new written language. And then they were able to ultimately come to know Jesus. And they were able to then understand in a very literal way that Jesus helped them through a time where there was a physical wave and an actual barrier that was keeping them from doing what they were used to doing in their life. And sometimes we have waves that come in our life. They might not be a tsunami, but just something that's maybe you're just really struggling with something in school, or it could even be something like as simple as maybe there's somebody picking on you, or maybe there's just a really difficult time with something going on with parents or with friends, or there's somebody sick in your life. And when that's going on, that can feel like that is just everything. But even in those times, who's there with us? Jesus. And do we want to share that with other people, Abby? It's really important that we share in those times that we are struggling. It's really important that we're able to share Jesus, and to tell other people that, hey, like, I've had times I was struggling, and the only reason I'm doing so well today is because Jesus got us through that time, right? Is there any time that you can share that you were having a really rough time and Jesus helped you, Abby?
Whenever we move.
When we move, that can feel like a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what do?
You talk with God.
You talk with God, and we read our Bibles, and we're able to get through some of the times that aren't so easy. So I don't want to end on just the sad stuff. I'm sure all of you have many stories about times that were really difficult, that, you need Jesus. And if you haven't had those times, you're very blessed, and that's a great thing. But there will always come times where we just need to open our Bible and pray to God, and know that even if it just seems like it's so difficult, that God is going to be there for us. So let's tell some fun facts. Some actual fun facts about Papua New Guinea and about the culture.
Papua New Guinea is one of the very few places on Earth that is close to the equator, but still has snow in very high altitudes.
Yeah. So the equator, if you don't know, the equator is right in the center. It's just an invisible line that goes right across the center of the world. And so if you're close to the equator, what is the weather usually like?
Hot.
Very hot. So the fact that they have snow at high altitudes, like, that means up in their mountains, on the peaks of their mountains, is pretty amazing. So they have really tall mountains because they're able to live in one of the hottest places in the world and still have snow. What's another fact about Papua New Guinea?
Well, there are 800 different languages in that country. So Papua New Guinea is one of the 3 countries with the greatest need for Bible translation in the whole world.
So we really need to pray for Papua New Guinea. With so many different languages spoken, it's really hard to translate the Bible into that many different languages. And so where, like, somebody near you, Papua New Guinea is this little tiny place, so you wouldn't imagine 800 languages are spoken there, but a tribe near you or a people group near you may have the Bible translated into their language, and just up, the path, just in the next set of woods or the next area, there's not Bible translation happening. So we need to continuously pray for the missionaries there, and continuously pray that Bible translation's happening in Papua New Guinea and all over the entire world. What's another fun fact? This will be our last one.
Until 1933, Papua New Guinea used seashells for money.
They did. So up until the 1930s, they were still using seashells like this as money. And this is their current money. So they lived a lot different than we do in America or even in Europe. Their culture is a lot different than ours. So we want to continue praying for Papua New Guinea, and also praying for anyone who doesn't know Jesus. And we want to pray that all of the people groups all over the world are being reached through Bible translation.